Hi friends, how's it going? I'm going to show you the basic methodology to get to six figures in 6 months. Now, there's a lot of things being thrown around the industry, and realistically, none of these are bad strategies. You got evergreen, you got funnel, you got high ticket, you got tripwires, you got order bumps, you got like monetization, sponsorship on YouTube, on podcast channels. And the reality is, most of us, especially in the beginning, when you're starting like an online coaching or online healing business, a bunch of us try to do all of it at once. And realistically, it's one of the most difficult things to do, right? Success is not just what to do. Success is knowing what not to do. That's probably the bigger thing. And it's something that I teach my people all the time. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little basic model about 6 figures in 6 months. And it really relies on what's called the story arcing process. The story arcing process essentially looks like, let's do this really, really quickly. Okay. So of course, there's lots of nuance in this, but you have to understand this. So one of the things most people focus on in my zone of genius lies in creating group coaching programs around healing, around online coaching, especially mindset, energy healing, things like this. Okay. So most people here in the beginning, it depends on the strength of your relationship, depending on the strength of your email list. Most people done properly, okay, can get between 10 and 12 people, usually at about $1,000. All right. So normally that's going to be a pretty normal, like 10 to 12 week coaching program with a promise around your wheelhouse. You can usually get about 10 or 12 people at about $1,000. That's going to give us pretty much, let's be optimistic for a bit and call it $12,000. Now, this is where most people think they need to scale. And it's actually the wrong place, right? Most people need what's called the story arc. Now I'm going to change colors here and show you a little bit about the story arc. So the story arc essentially is the ability to earn the right to be able to move them, create great transformation because, well, this is in your wheelhouse. You know exactly what you're doing there. And then you create a new problem. So for example, for my energy healing friends, a lot of the times, the original thing you solve is going to be healing past trauma. And then the new problem you solve is, what are you manifesting? What's your new paradigm? What can you create? That's reserved for a longer term program. And this is where most coaches fall over. Okay. Most coaches spend all their time and effort doing this. And when you're using things like joint ventures, Facebook ads, there's not a lot of money left over. Okay. But here, what we end up doing is we end up doing what's called an ascension model, what's called the story arc. Essentially, we have earned the right because we've done so well in the first program to ask for their business again, but usually for something longer term. Let's say 9 months, which makes a full year here. Okay. So 9 months at an upsell of, let's say, $10,000, which is a pretty standard normal upsell. Now, realistically, if you've done your work well here, from the 12 people, you should be able to get minimum 6 people to do your upsell at 10K. $10,000 for a year-long program is a very reasonable amount, especially if you break it into monthly amounts. Okay. So here, if we get 6 people coming in from the original 10 or 12, you're end up going to be getting another $60,000, right? So $60,000 plus 12, you have 72,000, and that's only from 3 months. All right. So you secured $72,000 in 3 months. Now, you do that again in 3 months, and you're able to have a 6-figure business. And this doesn't involve a lot of social media. This doesn't involve a lot of, in fact, it involves 0 funnels. The way I show it is, if we've positioned like a beta, there's no funnels, there's no sales pages. Like, it's literally just sending a PayPal link. It's the simplest thing you'll ever have. Okay. So again, the big takeaway is here. Okay. The big takeaway is, stop trying to find that magic mechanism to grow this. Instead, go and nurture your people really well. Talk to them, talk with them about what you do. Okay. Get your first 10 or 12 sales at $1,000. And then the big money is going to be in the story arcing process and the upsell. And that's how you're going to have a 6-figure coaching business or a 6-figure healing business in just 6 months, my friend.